Good afternoon, sir. I'm Vince Andres Silongakit, 18 years old. I'm from Barangay San Jose, Ormoc City, Bismarck 3 Delta. My answer to question number one, sir, is when Richard Dawkins asked who created God, the question seems short until one realizes, misunderstands what God actually means. Dawkins frames God as though he were the of within the universe, one cause among many subjects of the same rules as everything else. But that is not God of classical philosophy or theology. From Aristotle to Aquinas, God has never been conceived as contingent being who comes into existence, but as necessary being, the uncaused cause, the eternal source from which all reality flows. To ask then who created God is a category mistake. It is like asking what sound does color blue make or who made the law of logic. The question assumes that God, like everything else, must have a beginning, yet the definition of God is the one who does not begin. Everything that begins to exist requires a cause. That is sound reasoning, but God by nature does not begin. He is being itself, existence subsisting. Even modern science points in this direction. The Big Bang reveals that time, space, and matter had a beginning, that the universe itself is contingent. Whatever cause, it cannot be bound by time, space, or matter. It must be timeless, immaterial, and uncaused. Precisely the qualities ascribed to God in classical theism. So the question, who created God, does not undermine belief in God, it misunderstands it. God is not thing among things that needs an origin. He is the eternal foundation that makes the existence of all things possible. To seek a creator of the creator is to mistake the uncaused ground of all reality for a temporary effect within it. In short, we do not ask who created God for the same reason we do not ask what causes casually itself. God is not an object of creation, He is the reason creation exists at all. Thank you. So, my answer to number two question, sir, is that modern science revealed that DNA is far more than a chemical structure. It is a language, a complex information system that directs every function of life. Within each human cells lies over 3 billion genetic letters precisely ordered to form the blueprint of existence. The sophistication and accuracy of this code are so extraordinary that attributing it to random chance stretches reason beyond its limits. Every code requires a coder, and every message implies a mind in the same way the book of life. DNA naturally points to an intelligent creator. Even Francis Crick, one of the discoverers of DNA, double helix, acknowledged that it appears to be designed, though he attempted to explain this without invoking God. Likewise, Bill Gates once stated, DNA is like a computer program, but far more advanced than any software ever created, highlighting the depth of intelligence encoded with life itself. Illustrate entering a room, a finding of pair of Bose AirPods. Slick, efficient, and flawlessly engineered, no rational person would believe such technology appeared by accident. Its design points unmistakably to a designer. Similarly, the remarkable complexity and information content within DNA, surpassing that of entire libraries, cannot reasonably and be dismissed as a product of unguided processes. It bears the unmistakable mark of purpose and intellect. The evidence within the cell suggests not randomness, but reason, not chaos, but craftsmanship. It points to a powerful, infinite mind, the creator who stands beyond time and space, the ultimate source of life and intelligence. That is my response to number question number two, sir. Thank you.